Madison Community School Corporation School Board, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence or prayer. Thank you. This board usually doesn't sit in t-shirts, but we wanted to show our appreciation and honor to the girls basketball team, which we have one of them here tonight. Not just sectional champions, but repeat sectional champions, 2 in a row. Anybody else have anything they want to say from the board?
They've been a lot of fun to watch this year. They really have, and they've worked hard, and they improved a lot, and we just keep running into a buzzsaw at regional, but you should be proud of what you accomplished this year. It was great.
Yes, congratulations. We all go to those games, and away games, home games, but as good as you guys are as athletes, you're great young ladies. You're ambassadors for the community. We appreciate it. Proud of you.
See if you can embarrass her.
Did you get my note?
Anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
As someone with young kids, my kids love going to all the games. I see a little Arabian back there, and she's always at the games too. You guys are just great role models for all the young kids in the community.
Yeah, absolutely, very much so, very much.
Okay, we'll move on to 1.3. Dr. Hall, do you have any adjustments to the agenda?
There are no adjustments tonight, Mr. Thompson.
Okay. 1.4, core purpose is success for all students. Our core goal, at least 90% of students pass language arts, English, and mathematics on state assessments. Our core values, character. We will continue to be an institution guided by ethical strength. Students. We will continue to put students first in our priorities and our decision-making. Service. We will continue to be an organization known for its servant spirit. And stewardship. We will continue to embody the qualities of stewardship. Move on to 1.5, comments from patrons. Nobody signed up, so we'll go right on to 2.1. Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. We'll start out with our Character Council Award. So each year we send out a Google form to our staff for them given an opportunity to nominate students who have showed the 6 different pillars of the Character Council Awards. And tonight we're going to start with number 1, and we've already kind of spotlighted her already. So Mamie, could you come and join us? Mamie Trout. Mamie has been involved in multiple organizations, clubs, and community organizations throughout her PHHS career. She has held leadership positions in some of these organizations. She is an active participant in the PHHS school and community, and she represents the best of what PHHS has to offer, and that is from Mr. Taylor. Plain and simple, she's a stellar example of what Arabians should be, and that is from Mrs. Stevens. I nominated Mamie for the Character Count Citizenship Pillar at PHHS because I believe she represents what it means to be an Arabian. She consistently displays academic integrity in the classroom. She's a strong leader on the basketball court, as well in the community through her involvement in Youth Leadership Academy. Mamie is a caring and respectful student and contributes to a positive school environment, and that is from Mrs. Zukowski. So congratulations. Shake hands.
Very proud.
Thank you.
I don't think I could have reached her hand.
Okay, next up, we have Mary Kennedy for caring. Mary is an exceptionally caring individual who has been deeply involved in our essential skills programming, consistently serving others with a full and compassionate heart. She truly exemplifies what it means to be a caring person. As a freshman, she approached me with concerns about situations occurring in one of her classes. What stood out most to me was her concerns were not only for herself, but for her classmates as well. From that first interaction, she carried herself with maturity and poise of a young adult. Since then, she's continued to grow, demonstrating increasing confidence, leadership, and empathy each year, and that is from me.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I nominated Mary for the Character Counts Caring Pillar at PHHS because she is truly a person who has a heart for helping others. As a member of SAD, she participated in both high school and elementary school presentations where she was passionate about helping students make healthy, positive choices. Over the past 3 years, Mary has also shown exceptional care and patience as a cadet teacher, especially in her work with our essential skills students. And that was from Mrs. Zukowski.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Awesome job.
I also want to note that her and 2 other seniors created a clothing closet for students in need, and they've worked very tirelessly on getting all the materials together and setting it up, so it's pretty impressive. Yeah, giving back to the kids.
Okay, the next pillar is respect, and that's going to go to Talon Foster. So Talon, can you come up here, please? This one's going to take a minute. Okay, Talon conducts himself as a true leader. He is focused and purposeful in the classroom and always leads by example. He is a pleasure to have as a student in the classroom, and he is also a leader on the football field, from Mr. Majeski. Talon exhibits respect in everything he does. He has tremendous self-respect. This is evident in how he goes about his work and how he carries himself. He has respect for his peers. This is obvious in how he supports others and treats everyone. He also has tremendous respect for our school. This he shows through his pride and how he represents the school through athletics. Talon Foster is diligent, mindful in everything he does. His character and work ethic are tremendous, and he's even a better person. He was named All-State for Indiana Football Coaches Association this past season and is the ultimate teammate and team player. Most recently, he signed his national letter of intent to play football and attend school at Indiana State. All of the accolades he carries more for his he cares more for his family and his team than anything else. Coach Richmond. Talon exudes respect for teachers, coaches, and peers, and everyone. If everyone in the room was goofing off, Talon would be completing his task out of the respect for the teacher and his own work ethic. He never fails to say good morning or good day. He always checks for understanding, and he's considerate of his peers. And that is from Mrs. Neely. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go second horse, that's right. Keep it up. Congratulations.
Okay, next up is responsibility, and that's Mariah Kupfer. Join us, please. Mariah is one of the most responsible people that I know. She is responsible for her own learning. She always takes care to complete assignments fully and stays caught up when she misses school. If she misses a question, she takes the time to come in and figure out why she got it wrong and how to correct the answer. She's also responsible for helping others learn as well. Anytime anyone has a question, Mariah will take the time to carefully explain to them how to solve the problem so that they are able to understand. She is organized and never misses a deadline or a due date. No one embodies responsibility better than Mariah. And that's from Mrs. Mazzillo. Mariah is everything you want in a character of quality and of an Arabian. She is at the top of the class, a leader in her organizations, as well as very reliable and respectful. She would fit the nomination for all of the categories, but my favorite quality to observe of hers is how inclusive she is. She never hedges from a group discussion, and she generally wants to hear from others. She has strong moral values, and she shows her concern and empathy for anyone around. And that's Mrs. Neely. Mariah truly exemplifies all of these characters. I choose these three because she is outstanding in these areas. She served as a drum major for the marching band, an incredibly caring person. Every single day, she made sure everybody was doing okay, always asked about them, cared for them, and even counseled them. She was incredibly respectful to all the adults that work with her and along the students, which can be tough when you're a student leader. She's an incredibly responsible person. She completes all tasks, both those asked of her and those not, quickly and efficiently. She is just an amazing young person. Mr. Taylor, congratulations. Mr. Jones is going to join me to read this next one because it seems odd for me to read his statement for him.
So kind of the unique thing, Dane's one of the last kids that I coached and also when I was a teacher as well. So he's kind of my last one, and then I'm all with a fresh new class. So I can always trust Dane to get his work done with integrity. He's a student that is focused on understanding and learning in a way that is fair to himself and others. When he brings up a topic, I know that is something that he has put thought into and honestly believes to be true. He's the type of student that you do not need to think twice about in order to trust in what he says or does. That's from Mrs. Mazzillo. Okay. For myself, I am proud to recommend Dane as a Character Counts nominee for representing the pillar of citizenship for PHHS. Dane consistently demonstrates what it means to be responsible, engaged, and respectful member of our community. He follows school's expectations, shows respect for rules and procedures, and understands that being a good citizen means contributing positively to the environment around him. Dane leads by example, encouraging others to take pride in our school and to treat shared spaces, events, and opportunities with care. In addition to meeting expectations, Dane actively looks for ways to serve and support others. He is dependable, cooperative, and willing to step up when something needs to be done, whether in the classroom or during school activities. His sense of responsibility, fairness, and school pride reflects the true meaning of the citizenship pillar. And also, he always says hi to me every day in the hallway. So I get about 5 of those a day. So congratulations.
The last pillar is fairness, and it goes to Isaac Weaver, who cannot be here due to the rescheduled basketball game tonight, and he is playing right now as we speak. So Isaac demonstrates fairness throughout his daily behaviors. He follows the rules at PHHS and his classroom teachers, and expects the same of his peers and adults. He's open-minded and considers the thoughts and viewpoints of others. Isaac completes his work with a concerted effort to learn the material, all while allowing others within the learning environment to work to the best of their ability. And that came from Mr. Darren Daniil. All right, so we're going to move on to our community partnership. And we were doing a little research on who to give this out to because we have so many great community partners. But I talked with some members of our CTE hallway, and we came up with a good person to get this award tonight, and he graced us with his presence. So I'm going to ask Bobby Steele to come up here for us, please. Bobby Steele is of EMB Paving. Pendleton Heights High School is proud to recognize Bobby Steele of EMB Paving with the Outstanding Community Award for his dedication and generous support. Bobby has been an invaluable resource in helping us maintain and improve our construction and engineering department. Whenever Brandon and Marty need assistance, his expertise in the field and commitment to support with donations helps us modify our programming to help support our students. Beyond the donations, he's also brought a very interesting event that we host now called the Mixer Rodeo, where very skilled ready-mix drivers manipulate very heavy machinery throughout a series of obstacles. If you've not seen this done, you should definitely come out and take a look, because we host this event usually every summer. The school is incredibly grateful for his time, expertise, and generosity, and this award is well-deserved and recognition of his outstanding commitment to Pendleton Heights High School and the community. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you.
Okay, and last and certainly not least, the Above and Beyond Award goes to Lauren Spencer. If you could join us, please. Lauren Spencer is the health assistant at Pendleton Heights High School, and she's been recognized with the Above and Beyond Award for her exceptional dedication and her hard work. In a short time, Lauren has somehow learned everyone's job in the front office. And with that said, I don't know if I should be concerned or thankful. However, her efforts have not gone unnoticed by teachers, students, and staff who deeply appreciate her commitment, positive attitude, and willingness to help anyone in need. Lauren's work ethic and endless sense of humor, office pranks, and kindness make her an invaluable part of Pendleton Heights High School office. And this award is well-deserved recognition of her consistent contributions. Beyond her daily responsibilities, Lauren goes above and beyond to create a welcoming environment regardless of what position she's filling that day. She might be considered Pendleton Heights' version of Where's Waldo. If Lauren is in the clinic today, maybe. Is she in the attendance office? Maybe. Is she the main office secretary? Maybe. Or maybe she's in the treasurer's office filling in. It's all a possibility. Regardless of the vacancy, she has managed to fill in everywhere quite efficiently. She's truly a jack of all trades and a master of wits. She's also a very good cook, which has perks for the office staff when she brings in treats. But lastly, she's truly the best utility team player that we could ever ask for, and we're so glad that she's here. So Lauren, seriously, thank you for all you do. We're glad that you're here to operate PHHS, especially when your sister Brittany, your brother Bill, your Aunt Amanda, or your Aunt April needs to take off work. We look forward to you bringing us lunch tomorrow in those tightly sealed glass ball jars. Congratulations. And next up, we're going to move into the academic portion of the slideshow, and we're going to start with Dr. Pio, who's the director of our curriculum and instruction.
Good evening, everyone. Evening. So I serve as our assistant principal at the high school, going on my 8th year now. So kind of transitioned a couple years ago into our curriculum and overseeing all of our state testing, which is fun and all those things. But one of the big things we look at is how our students are performing. We talked earlier about one of our core values is how we're doing academically and where we look at it. So one of them, we went from ECAs to I-STEP, and now we're into the SAT world. So all of our juniors have to take SAT. So in Indiana, every junior has to take SAT, okay? So when we compare our averages, what's our average score? We're comparing that other state students, national students, but those states all have where it's a choice. So basically your college-bound kids are the only ones taking it. So we're comparing all of our kids, regardless of what they want to do, to everybody else. So it's a little difference. So if you look historically at our scores years ago, you're like, holy cow, we really went down. We really haven't. Okay, if you look at compared to the state average, we're actually doing a really good job. So you can kind of see where we're at. Last year we had a big jump. So we've been in the 990s, which has been always, above the state average. Last year, we went up to 1015, so this group of seniors knocked it out of the park last year as a whole. And if you look at our top, what I would say our top 30%, our top 10% kids, the top 30-some, they averaged at 1245. So they really did a great job. So I'm really proud of that. Just to see where our numbers are going, knowing that our English department, our math department, all the others that chime in to help out. And we're seeing a lot of good results, and our kids are they're doing exactly what we want to. So when we look at that, we look at, there's the math portion of the test, there's the English portion of the test, and we look at how our kids do. So our students that pass both the math and English portions, which is the college board sets that cut score. So we have 37% of our kids that meet both those benchmarks, which is higher than the state by 10%, but it's also lower than national. But once again, if you compare apples to apples, if you look at all of our top 10% kids, it's 100%. They've all. So if we look at our kids that are going to college, they've all pretty much met that mark. Okay, in English, again, we're at 66, and we're 10% above the state, which is another increase. National 69, so like I said, I think we're in a good spot, and we continue to grow as we go through things. So I'm really impressed. I'm excited. Our math department's changed. We've had some couple retirements come in, and the new people we brought in haven't missed a beat. They're knocking out of the park, and our English department, I feel, is as strong as it's ever been, and it's showing. So we're excited where that's at, okay? Another area where we're seeing a big change is in our advanced placement, so AP World. AP World's going down, and I know it sounds weird, but why is that? Well, you'll see here in a second here. So our numbers of students that taking AP exams and taking AP courses have gone down, and that's because we offer more dual credit, which we'll get into a little bit. So AP, you take the college level course, in a year you take an exam. All the ones up here, they can all probably attest to it, because I've seen them all in that room because I administer all the tests. So you sit here and you're writing college credit at the end of the year, whether or not you get a 3 or higher on a test. It's out of 5, 3 or higher, you get college credit. And that's the baseline, okay? Some schools require a 4 or 5, depending on what it's at. So where we're at here, so we had 577 exams administered last year, 213 were a 3 or higher, which is about where we've always been. It's pretty good numbers, but here's what was impressive, okay? This last year, our students earned us the AP honor roll for the first time since I've been here. And looking back, I know at least the first time in the last 15 years. After that, I haven't seen any numbers. I'd have to pay to get the reports from College Board, and I really didn't want to do that. So, but anyways, we're recognized as a bronze level school, and to earn a bronze level, there's a couple things we have to achieve. So you have to achieve the following goals. 40% of the class of 2025 took at least one AP exam. We were right at that 40% mark. So I was pretty thrilled with that. And then 25% of the class of 2025 earned a 3 or higher on at least one AP exam, and we were at 26, so we were just over. And then 2% of the class of 2025 took 5 or more AP courses in their time, 4 years at Pendleton Heights, and we're at 12%. So we had a lot of seniors taking a lot. I know there was 2 of them last year that personally took over 12. They really pushed themselves. So they were taking the test for classes they didn't even take here because they were so well prepared in the physics and chemistry and some of the math world. So it was excited to see. But like I said, with that being said, our AP numbers are going down because we have switched to more dual credit. So now your dual credit classes, at the end of the course, whatever your grade is, that's what you earn college credit right there. So it's a little safe. You don't have to pass that big test at the end of the year. So a lot of our kids are taking that opportunity, and we've continued to add to that. So we went from 14 to, we're up to 24 now. Next year we'll be at 28 with where we're at, and we're continuing. And the one thing here, we looked at our numbers. Mr. Mike Taylor, our head of counseling, we looked at it and we're like, why did our credits dip this last year? And we were looking at it, even though we had more kids in dual credit classes, our world language classes are weighted a little bit different. So you earn 4 credits per semester. So that's 8 for a year. And we had 50 less students in our upper level world language than we did the previous year, which is about 400 difference. So if you look at where we're at, that's kind of where those two coincide a little bit. But I think we're on a good path as far as where we're going, the curriculum we provide, seeing our students where they're performing on the SATs and the state measures we compare them to other schools. I think we're doing fantastic. And I'm excited to see where it continues to grow and watch our students excel like they have been. And now I'm going to turn it over for our student attendance.
So one of the things that Mrs. Cummings and I work pretty hard on is student attendance, which is always the fun phone call notification you guys get if your kid is missing, absent, or all the things above. So we are the ones behind that, and people, you know, it is automated, but we kind of pull the strings behind the curtain. So first and foremost, the state recently changed its attendance indicator, and the indicator is a 94% attendance at school. Okay, so you're gonna look at that and say only 70% of our kids are reaching that metric, but as you can see, we are consistently growing comparatively to last year. Obviously, you see the big dip post-COVID, and slowly but surely we are increasing and going well above the state average. Okay, so with that, one of our metrics, if you look in our handbook, we measure off of a 90% attendance rate. So basically, that's where the famous phrase of "you can't miss 10 times." How many times you guys have heard that, your friends talking about that, all that stuff? Okay, it's we say it pretty often. In that metric, we're at a 95.41%, which is the highest since Mrs. Cummings and I have been here. So we're getting right back to where we were pre-COVID. So making sure kids are in school. Kids do better when they're in school. They learn more when they're in school. Obviously, the group here all values being in school, or else they wouldn't be here. So that's what that shows. So that's exciting news that we're trending in the right direction, and our kids are coming to school.
All right,
Take
guys.
this one on? All right,
I brought snacks.
let's go.
Okay, I've given this presentation 3 times to the school board. So I thought this time, why not get some audience participation? Okay? You guys are seniors, parents of seniors. Let's see how much you can recall. Just be tempted by the tips. Okay? Anyone can answer, school board members, you can answer too, district leaders. But this is what I do. If you know me, this is what I do. I bring the snacks. All right? Don't do that. And you can use the clues. You ready? Okay. All right. When do we start running the attendance report? What day of the week? Mary? Monday. There you go. Come on. Right? Okay. Next question. Yeah, I do have it. Oh, thanks. How many absences can you have before we start calling your parents? We're calling, we're emailing, we're texting them. How many times? Use the clues. You don't have to be a big kid. Yes. Nope, too many. To get that first automated phone call. What's the number? 1. Nope.
Someplace between 1 and 10.
Come on, high schoolers.
Get some snacks.
Want some snacks? Come on. Theo's even showing you. 5 it is. Good job. Ready? Come on. All right. Yeah, so at 5, we're going to give you a call through Parent Squares. We're going to call you. We're going to text you. We're going to email you. We're going to send all the things. Okay? Because like Mr. Jones said, we want you at school. We want to know why you're not at school, right? So when do we bring you in to have a conversation? You're either having a conversation with Mr. Jones or myself. What number? What number? Yes, Mariah? 7. That's right. We're going to bring you in and have a conversation with you. We're going to ask you like, hey, why are you not in class? What's Dane Kelly, that's right, come get a snack. Okay, what else happens? So you're removed from the class, you go to the pit for study hall, what else? What do you earn? What do you earn for each class? Yeah.
Is it like, isn't it like one of those things,
No? Think high school level. What do you earn for each class at the high school level? Parents, what do they earn? Credits. They earn credits. Come get a snack, ma'am. They earn credits. What else do they earn besides a credit for every single class? Come on, staff. I know you know the answer. Dane? A grade. A grade. Come get another snack. Because I'm just going to give these to my staff tomorrow. Okay? All right. So you're removed from class. You go into a study hall. You get an F on your transcript, and you don't earn a credit. That is the downfall.
Wow.
Yep. What happens when you get 2 removals? 2 removals. Yeah, you don't know because you've never been in this situation. Right. So unfortunately, we have to get kind of creative, okay? You cannot have 3 study halls. You have to be enrolled in at least 5 classes. So chances are you might be going to CLC, which is our alternative school environment. Maybe you are going online through our ABA program, okay? All right. You want to say anything about the coding?
Yeah.
Because our coding's a little different.
Yeah, so the state of Indiana came out and they wanted to get a better understanding of why kids are missing, because that's always the question of why kids are missing. So if you guys have logged into your students' Power School and see all these random codes, it used to be easy. It was AE, AU, and that was all they said. So now we have things like family plan, family unplanned, medical, AU. So any of these codes give your child an absence, okay, and that's where Mrs. Cummings, once you hit the magic number of 10, you can be up for removal
Yeah,
of
if you move to the next slide.
from your class. So this is what her and I do on a weekly basis. So like I said, it is automated to an extent, and then we hand sift through every single kid. And thankfully with conditional formatting, it kind of gives us an indicator where kids at based on color coordination. So green, you get the automatic call. 7, you get the letter, plus you get the conference with us. 9, we're banging down your door to figure out why the heck you're not at school, okay? So those are the 3 indicators we go through
And then
weekly.
you see on the right, far right, those are notes, because we're having conversations with parents, with kids, with counselors, with teachers. Because all those things play a factor in why a kid might not be at school. So we're not just rushing from, okay, you're at 9, now you're out once you hit 10. Okay, we're not unreasonable human beings. We understand that there are reasons why children don't attend school. So we want to make that clear.
And here's some of what our messaging looks like. On the right, if any of your students has ever gotten 7 absences, they've seen that form. Just like I said, just a notification. We just want to make sure your kids are going to school. On the left is the automatic message that goes through Parent Square, just kind of giving them a heads up of where they're at currently. So those are things that kind of happen behind, and as we've kind of talked in our conversations, that breaks down each of our 3 levels for attendance and what we do per each. So like I said, all good things. We want kids to come to school, and that's pretty much where we're at for that. Anything else for that?
Does everybody understand? Do you have any questions? I know we're at the point of no return really because we're seniors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just get it.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right, student of the month. So Mr. Rose asked me to talk about this initiative. It started back as a baby project in the spring of 2022. That's when Mr. Jones and I were hired. We have 12 content areas. 13 to 16 students can be chosen each month. Content areas are, let me walk real quick, so you have an idea. We got signatures and everything, okay? So you can see that when this project started, it really has evolved. It was just a bulletin board that I had created, and I was taking their picture and slapping it up on the bulletin board, and then it evolved to me buying like these 8x10 frames and changing them out every single month. Became very taxing, and then I begged Mr. Rose for money. He said, write a grant. And so we ended up with this beautiful display that you can see in our main hallway next to Fresh to Go. I see kids stop and stare at it every single day, just looking forward. I've heard that kids will be asking and begging their teacher to nominate them for Student of the Month because they want their picture taken, they want that recognition. Because not only is it on display in the hallway, it's also displayed in our newsletter that Mrs. Anderson does weekly, bi-weekly, so that's why that photo in the top right. So the process is, it used to be, I'm gonna send a blue pass, but then they had shaky knees because they thought they were in trouble. They went into panic mode. Some of them didn't want to come down. That was what you were talking about, Dr. Hall. Sometimes they get that blue pass, they don't want to come down and see us because they think they're in trouble. So I listened to our teachers and they said, hey, we want to hear their names over the PA. So now every month I get on the PA and I make an announcement, which I think is really great for the kids and for the teachers to hear the recognition that we're providing for these kids. And then I take their photo, make sure they've got their mom smile going for me, and then they get their individual photo, they get their gift card, and off they go. All right, so one thing that I wanted to do that I didn't do when I first started this project back in 2022 is I didn't really know how to use Canva very well during that time, so I kind of like meal piece a certificate together, but now I have a standard one that I use, the one you see right there. And so can I have Dane, Isaac's not here, and Mariah to come up? So they would not have received this certificate back in the spring of 2022. I really don't recall what I gave you guys. So what we do is we're going to present it to you, to the entire, and then you give it to your parents, and then they can put it on display during your open house, okay? All right. So Dane was chosen for April Student of the Month in 2022. Okay. One day last week in the library, I saw him watching a career presentation, and he helped me pick up pieces of my Henrietta puzzle that was left by students from the period before. He had other things to do, but he stopped to help a teacher. He's a student who treats teachers and peers like people. Dane's manners set him apart, and I have no doubt he will be a proud representation of Pendleton and the Arabians. Mrs. Stevens. Mariah was also chosen for April's Student of the Month in 2022 for chemistry. Mariah has been an ideal science student over the last semester and has been my strongest student in April. She has both a natural ability to comprehend and an obvious passion for science learning. Mariah consistently contributes to discussions and helps her peers when they are struggling with chemistry concepts. I am proud to nominate her as the PHHS April Science Student of the Month, Mr. Thompson. That's it. You guys have any questions about Student of the Month? All right. I'm just going to leave these here to entice you.
All right, one of my other roles here at the corporation is I'm the corporation school safety specialist. Mr. Rose held that role before me, so we oftentimes sit and strategize how to keep our students safe. Some highlights for the high school specifically, and also it's kind of echoes to other schools, so it's kind of a corporation stance, but we'll kind of focus mostly on the high school. Actually, Mrs. Spencer, that's the reason why she earned her award, helped us tremendously finding replacements for all of our outdated AEDs in the entire school, so give her a round of applause for that. People don't realize how much those actually cost and the time it takes to get those, and I think that's essential for our students, student athletes, and anybody who performs at our school, performing arts as well. have those ready and on hand. Secondly, we went to the electronic pass system last year. These kids will definitely know what the electronic pass system is. I really enjoy it because it keeps kids where they're supposed to be, gives them on a time constraint, and we know where they are at all times. Access control in our security vestibule system. So if you guys have been to the high school recently, if you went to Pendleton, looks a lot different now. The front office got redone this summer, and through a combination of a lot of sources with that, we have now a new entry system so we can help maneuver people in and out of the school safely. Also gives our presence of our SRO, being one of the first people you greet as soon as you walk in, keeps our front office staff safe, as well as it just helps the whole process go along, so helping people check in. Our team this summer underwent a behavioral threat assessment workshop, so we have that tool now available to us for our students. And then lastly, we got audited in January. It was actually the middle school, but all of our school safety plans are very similar to one another, and we actually got a lot of praise for it. They're even going to use some of the things that we do as a school as models for other schools. And so it's always a good kind of kudos to us, that knowing that we're doing the right things, especially from the state. So that was a really good meeting. So that's my school safety spiel.
Okay, so what does all that mean? That means that we have a great place to enjoy as a school and our employment. And it leads us to the next slide, which is something that we're all very proud of, and it's our graduation rate. As you can see, we've been growing upward in the right direction since 2024. The 2026 that's represented obviously is this class. This is the reporting date, so it's the class of 2025. But last year, it's actually so high that we can't get it on the chart. So it's 99.11, and that's a great example of what kind of students we have, what kind of community we have, what kind of leadership we have from the school board, all the way down to our staff members, to our custodians. We can't do this without all of you people. I mean, this is just an incredible climb that we've made, and something that we're really super proud of. Highest in the conference, highest in the area, with the exception of one. I did find that Fisher's had a 99.66, so we'll shoot for that next year. But obviously, with all the work that we put in, with all your guys' efforts, this is just a great accomplishment. So I want to share that with you. ECA highlights. So obviously, we've touched on some of those with our sectional basketball championship, the back-to-back sectional championship. But I also want to bring up Maddie Marsh, because it's something that hasn't been done before. So come on up here, Maddie. Maddie Marsh is a 3-time state championship wrestler and state championship wrestler. She is the first person to ever accomplish that at Pendleton Heights. So we wanted to give her a public recognition and give her an opportunity to meet the school board tonight. So everybody give her a great round of applause. Not only a great wrestler, outstanding student, and always willing to help out, works in the office, does anything she can to help anybody at the school as well. So congratulations, Maddie. Go ahead and walk around there.
Great job, man. Good job.
Good job, Maddie. Great job, Maddie.
Some of the other highlights we have, Anya Zeller, who's only a sophomore, made her second appearance at the state cross-country meet here this past fall, and placed 6th, made the podium again, made the podium last year as a freshman, and we hopefully will continue to see great things out of her. As we mentioned, back-to-back sectional championships. Also, our Marching Arabians returned to the state championship again this past fall. Last year got 7th, this year they got 8th, but still making it all the way to the state championship in any event, in any sport, is a great thing. So we're always there to support them in that. Emerald Suites, our show choir, remained undefeated last fall and spring, and went into the state championship, which is always over our spring break, so we always have to come back and report on it when we do our spotlight report. But they were the state championship winning team for the women's show choir. Some of the academic scholarship highlights that we have is Ashton Smith has been recognized as a National Merit Finalist If you know what that means, that is, he's in the top 15,000 students, high school seniors in the state, or in the state, or in the nation, I'm sorry, which means that he's probably going to be set up for some pretty good scholarships, full rides potential on which school he chooses. Not all the schools will give him a full ride, but if he chooses a state school, most likely he's going to be going there for free. So that's a great accomplishment for Ashton. Some of our next steps, continue to look at options to incorporate work-based learning in order to satisfy our requirements of the new diploma seals. As we creep closer towards that, 75 hours to 650 hours, we need to gather community support and ways to get those kids hours working so they can earn those seals. And we're continuing to work with that. Mr. Kruger and I are constantly looking for ways to get our businesses involved and see how we can get those kids those hours. Maintain involvement in communication and long-term planning with ASC here, constantly talking with Dr. Hall and Mr. Kruger about what we need improvement-wise in the building. Ken's always been super supportive of anything that we need, as long as he's willing to open the checkbook. We're going to continue to explore our credit recovery options and expand virtual options to help students with retention. Recently at our secondary principals meeting, we were looking at some of our students and where they go when they transfer out. We noticed that some of them were transferring out to some other online programs, which we do have that available, but we just kind of been a little reserved on that and kind of opened that up a little bit more to hopefully help with retaining some of our students that want some of those virtual options. Lastly, we want to explore some incentive-based attendance and some standardized testing incentives. And what I mean by that is, like Mr. Jones was talking about, if a student can reach 94% attendance, we've talked about different ways of maybe they don't have to take certain final exams as long as they have passing grades. Could be an option. They could still take a final exam if they want to improve their grade, but maybe not have to take the final exam. As far as the standardized testing initiative, biology iLearn is a requirement. And so if a student passes the biology iLearn, we're looking at not making them take the biology final as long as they can pass the iLearn standardized test. So that is what we are working on currently at the high school, and that completes our presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Thank you.
You probably don't want to stay for our meeting, but if you do, you're welcome to do so. Usually people want to go out in the vestibule here and have pictures taken. Please do that. We'll take about a 3-minute recess here before we start again.
Please take a snack.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to 4.1, approval of minutes of the regular meeting of February the 5th. I'm assuming everybody's had a chance to look at that. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the February the 5th regular board meeting. Any comments from anyone? Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Kinder?
Yes.
Mike Hannah?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes. Moving on to 4.2, approval of accounts payable vouchers.
It's probably,
Everybody had an opportunity to go over these. We usually have several pages. Any questions for Ken? Put him on the spot. If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the accounts payable vouchers as presented to us.
Second.
It's been approved and seconded to approve the accounts payable vouchers submitted to us. Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Kinder?
Yes.
Mike Hannah?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes. Moving on, excuse me, moving on to the consent items, 5.1 through 5.4. Have you had enough time to look through things? I would take a motion.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to, on the consent items, to combine 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4 for approval. Any? Nobody have anything? Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Kinder?
Yes.
Mike Hannah?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes. Moving on to 6.1, contract approval. Mr. McCarty.
Thank you, Mark. I know Dr. Miller has discussed this at the last meeting and in conjunction with, some input from teachers, quite a bit of input. We are recommending adopting the K-6 literacy option, version 2, option 2. And as the note indicates, what the difference in version 1 versus version 2 is. So quite a bit of money saved by the shipping and handling that was negotiated out of there by Dr. Miller and Mark.
That did kind of jump out at me when I was looking at it. I'm glad we got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Any questions for Mr. McCarty?
No, I have one for Dr. Miller.
Okay.
Can you tell me what your plan is for staff development for our teachers so they can fully implement this program more?
Sure. Currently, what we're doing is this spring, we are going to break the implementation workshop, which goes over the core of the program and goes over the website, into 2 parts. And they'll have opportunity to come to that. There'll be multiple options for it. Our coaches are going to be in that also, so they will be fully trained in that. The second thing we're going to do is we have it scheduled for one of our in-service days for a follow-up on that. And the company also comes in for some ongoing communication with questions we have and so forth. I guarantee you, between myself, Mrs. Moore, and Mrs. Snodgrass, we will be the district that asks them the most questions ever. I have already warned them, we find their typos in their books and materials always. If there's any glitches in their software, we will find them, but we've got an ongoing process. Then Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Snodgrass are going to meet with them weekly for the first quarter, maybe semester, to do team planning, to be able to make sure we implement to its goal.
So how many hours do you think our 2 instructional coaches will be actually spending in the classroom with kids? With children?
That varies. They will definitely be spending time with those teachers, and it just varies. Mrs. Snodgrass spends a little bit more time in classrooms than Mrs. Moore because Mrs. Moore has other duties works a little bit more with our instructional assistants and so forth. So they are going to partner, we're actually doing I forgot this part, we're actually piloting a unit this spring. And so we have one teacher from each school for kindergarten. We're gonna pilot a whole 6-week unit. And then we have one teacher from each 5th grade at the schools to pilot. So Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Snodgrass are gonna be partnering with them to implement the new course. Mrs. Snodgrass has recently sent out she's reviewed the unit we're gonna do. We picked unit 4. And she's reviewed that unit, and so transition between Super Kids and the new unit, she's actually sent them about it's a 10 or 12 day, hey, you need to put these things in so we don't have any gaps. So she analyzed that for them and gave the 3 teachers that. So they're gonna be working with them directly, and then they're gonna be working, and again, it varies by teacher, but they're gonna be working with those all 7 grade levels next year, every week.
In every building.
In every building.
Great.
So we're gonna have a little bit different schedule for them next year with them doing that. And this year, we tried to chunk them into blocks of time in the school. But yeah, along with still doing the data meetings and still doing RTI and looking at the new math pieces that are coming out with the new state laws and all of those things.
Great, thank you. Good question.
Anything else? I would entertain a motion.
So moved. Second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the contract presented to us by Mr. McCarty. We've discussed it already, so Penny?
Okay. Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hannah?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you for that. Our goal is to get the teachers the materials before they leave for the summer, so they have it to work with and explore. And we're gonna do workshops over the summer with our coaches.
Moving on to 6.2, cancellation of checks. Mr. McCarty?
Thank you, Mark. The administration is requesting permission to cancel checks, and I will give a little explanation. I'm sure that one of those probably pops out.
Yeah.
Gruneau it was actually a dual payment, so Mrs. Myers confirmed the payment on that. The process is to stop payment on the check, and then State Board of Accounts, the requirement is anything over 2 years is when the check, cancellation of the outstanding check. So that's why we're asking for the cancellation at this time.
Are most of these rewrites?
The smaller ones, I'm not sure that we tracked down all of them, that obviously, $13.90, and the smaller ones, $16, we didn't probably track down, but some of them,
We cannot reissue the check unless the original check is presented to us. At any time, even after cancellation, if the original check is presented to us, then we will reissue it.
Okay. Thank you for. Any questions further? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the cancellation of checks presented by Mr. McCarty. Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hannah?
yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes. Moving on to 6.3, surplus equipment. Mr. McCarty.
Thank you, Mark. The administration tonight is requesting that the Super Kids and the Intro to Reading student teacher materials be declared as surplus at the conclusion of their instructional use.
I can explain that for a second. Super Kids has 2 storybooks, and the kids adore them. The teachers actually came to me and said, can I give these to the kids? We're done with first semester, can I give these to the kids? And I felt like we talked about we needed to do the surplus piece, so those books are going to our current kindergarten and first grade students. Teacher materials aren't probably worth anything after 6 or 12 years, but the student books are precious to the kids.
But you do need a vote on this, right?
Yes.
It's surplus, okay.
Mr. Carr, I have a question about surplus equipment.
Yes.
I was hoping to see a picture of Dr. Hall's chair. I was shocked we didn't see it.
Next meeting.
Next meeting, all
We
right.
want to put up some suspense.
There might
We
be
may
more than
repurpose
one.
it.
I'm so sad there's not gonna be a bunch of super kids walking around the hallways, little like Cash and the little chef and all of them. That's so sad. Yes.
There you go.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the surplus equipment as presented by Mr. McCarty. Any?
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Ginder,
Yes.
Mike Hanna.
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
John Lord,
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes. Moving on to 7.1, comments from patrons. We had none that signed up. 7.2, communications from the superintendent. Dr. Hall.
Yeah, I've just got a quick note. We had bus inspections last week, and all of our buses cleared inspection again, which has been common in the last few years, but I just want to give a shout out to all of our bus drivers and our mechanics and all of our transportation staff that are in there working and get us through that. So there were some other school districts that had to bring their buses here to run it through our inspection because they didn't make it through their own. So that's obviously a bad sign for those school districts, but again, our people are doing a great job, so. And then any of you that want to inspect my chair, it's in the room back here behind us. I moved it down here to the storage room. I'm waiting for official approval next meeting before we throw it in the trash. But if anybody wants to take a look at it, I brought it down here so you can take a look at it. That's all I have.
Okay, moving on to 7.3, communications from the Board of School Trustees. Start with Donna.
Earlier, when we were talking about the girls' basketball team, one thing I should have said earlier, we, were congratulating the girls and what great leaders they are, and I think it's also important, the coaching staff that we have. Just their accomplishments, it just really speaks volumes on how well they work together, and girls' basketball in general has come a long way, and the student section is awesome, and it didn't used to be like that, 10 years ago, so I just think that's great.
I can tell you, I had a conversation with Nick Rogers before I came here, because I helped Jane get into school with the treats for the kids, and basically, that's what we were talking about. I was congratulating him on what he had done, so. Mr. Lloyd?
I've been to 2 ISBA events recently. There's a lot of concern about Senate Bill 1. There was a panel of CFOs from around the state, and they were all talking about what they're going to have to do to try to meet budget demands. Brownsburg said, we have gone to the cheapest toilet paper and the cheapest paper towels and the cheapest soap, and we're saving $144,000 this year by doing that. So everybody's like, oh, all right, let's do that. And so there's a lot of concern around the state about how needs are going to be met for the teachers and for kids. Also then, I went to the State House Day, and ISBA is concerned about lots of bills that are in process, including the cell phone bill, which seems to be, they had the author of the cell phone bill there. He was pretty adamant about what he is looking for and what he wants. He wants those cell phones bell to bell to not be with children. They also talked a lot about the immigration law coming up and what that would play out in schools. So there's a lot of action out there, and it'll be real interesting. The legislature will be over here this month. They'll be done, and to see exactly what comes out. The immigration law, they talked about looking at your policy. They said when that's signed by Governor Braun, I think it's all done, it will go into effect as soon as he signs it. Not July 1 like other laws, but as soon as it's signed. So make sure your policies are up to date with state law. So it's like everybody was very concerned about that. But overall, it was a very good meeting. We've had some outstanding presentations by the 3 elementaries, the middle school and the high school, and I don't know that there's a better program going on anyplace. I think our staffs are just absolutely tremendous. The kids are motivated, they're working hard. Proud to be involved with the school system. It's going well.
Well, congratulations again for the sectional win for the girls. And this group of kids that were brought up today are a good example of hopefully more students, juniors and sophomores and freshmen coming up through that can live up to those seniors' goals and expectations. So, no, I think that was a good group of kids that went through today, including Maddie, state champion.
Yeah.
She's right up there with them.
Kevin?
Yeah, I just want to say how fortunate I think we are to have such a great school system. And great administration, great teachers, great students. I mean, look at our graduation rate. So I'm just very proud of what they've all accomplished.
Mike?
Well, I chime in on the girls' basketball team and, the success that they've had and the kids that they are. They're kind of a cliche, but, as good a players they are, as good as athletes they are, they're better kids. They're just good representatives of the school, the entire community, and the boys as well. I mean, those are some good kids. A couple new kids, boys and girls, who came to our school this year have been great examples, and I agree with the coaching that we have. Chad's done it, and Sean has done a really good job with the coaches that they've hired. I'm sorry to see that we lost one. I've lost a good one, and that is unfortunate. But all in all, we really enjoy going to the game with at the regional. We're sitting on the front row like we're in the game. But that was disappointing, but, they'll be back next year. They'll be back.
I guess I echo a lot of the same sentiments. I'm proud of the athletic accomplishments, but I'm even more proud of the students. We've got you always have some that aren't quite as good as others, but we've got a great group of kids in our school system, all the way from pre-K all the way up to seniors. So I'm proud of them.
Another thing that we need to think about, we talk about our coaches, which we're very fortunate, but Chad Smith's position next to Mark's, probably the toughest position in this school corporation to be in. And he's dealing with parents, students, athletes, but it's a thankless job. And every time I see him, I thank him for what he does. It's a tough, tough job. And he hangs in there, and he takes the good with the bad, but, he needs to be patted on the back too, in my opinion.
Okay. We're ready to adjourn if I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting, and so we are done.
Nope.
No.
Oh, we have a
Vote.
almost done.
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Canna?
Yes.
Bill